Thanks, Matt. So, just really proud of our players, our staff, everybody involved. Total effort, and certainly it was a really good week for our football team. So, capped off today. Nothing was easy out there today. We had a lot of respect for Rutgers for obvious reasons, come in with 6 wins. And they've been impressive watching them on tape. And as I mentioned on Tuesday, I think Coach Schilens really building a program over there. So, a lot of respect for them. But our guys, played through some bumps during the course of the first half. Left some opportunities out there, but they just kept playing, stayed focused. I thought they were great at halftime, and certainly, played probably our best second half of football since we got started here. And I thought last week probably was in that category. This one certainly was a little bit better. So, most notably, the offense I think took a big step, and we put points on the board in the second half, but even in the first half, I think if you look what they did. We had field position that was not real good 2 times inside the 10. Still found a way to drive it out there and give Torrey a chance to flip field position. We weren't necessarily holding the field position the way we wanted to, but that was better in the second half, certainly. So just as the game kept going, thought our guys got more confident, and we, did some good things out there. So, just in a nutshell, like November football, I've said that before, it's really, where things kind of shape up or don't shape up for football teams. And the biggest number one on the list Monday was just talked about improvement. Everybody, it's incumbent upon everybody to try to improve, coaches, players, and I've always believed that you can improve any week, not just early in the season or camp. So we wanted to take advantage of that, and just proud of the way I think we did see a lot of improvement today. It's a residual thing. We'll just keep trying to build on that, but just thrilled to get our 8th win. Happy about that, certainly, and. Just again, mostly just can't tell you how proud I am of our players. Got a good quality group of guys. Show up every day with a great attitude, and they care about each other. And I think that showed today. So just happy for them, and I'll throw it out for questions.
Hi, Kirk. Scott Docterman with The Athletic. There's a lot of resiliency associated with your team and program, but I think first and foremost, you look at quarterback Deacon Hill. Today, 200+ yards. You had 400+ yards as a total, but he seemed to really take a lot of steps forward. What does it mean for you to see him make those steps, and then what areas did you see the most growth?
I think just general comfort, and I've been saying it for a while, and you can't microwave this stuff. You just can't microwave. Same thing at the offensive line. I thought today was their best day. But it's a matter of just, you got to practice, you got to watch film, look what you're not doing well, and then just keep working at it. And Deacon still made the one mistake there right before halftime, but I thought, clearly he was playing with more confidence out there. We were helping him a little bit more, and but most importantly, he did the job. And I think that you talk about resiliency. I think that's the first word I would use with him, because I'm guessing he's probably been hearing a lot of negative stuff out there. So instead of worrying about that, he's just been focused on trying to get better, working hard with the coaches, and practicing better. So, you hope that's how it works for everybody, and he's certainly right at the front of the list on that.
David Eichel, HawkeyeInsider.com. Kirk, I mean, there's no secret that the offense has been heavily criticized this year, but for them to go out, get 400+ yards against a really, really good Rutgers defense, a lot of the guys credited you in the way you've been coaching throughout the week. I guess how have you kind of kept this offense afloat and really just continue to help them laser focus and push forward to deliver the kind of performance they did today?
Yeah, I've done it long enough where, I've been on the wrong side of a lot of stuff in my time, coaching, certainly playing. And again, there's really, all you really learn is you can't do anything. You just keep working with what you have. And in our case, the good thing is most of our issues have been, it's not that we haven't had enough, we just haven't had them available. So, being realistic, listening to whoever beat the Jets last week, and they were talking about the Jets situation. I'm coming in Monday morning or Tuesday morning, it doesn't matter. And they're talking about it. It's not the same when you lose, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Not that we had one, but you know what I'm saying, an experienced guy. So, that's fine. So who's playing and what can you do with those guys? And that's really where your focus goes. So yeah, we're going to have some problems. Probably our 3 most explosive guys, potentially offensively, aren't out there. The season wouldn't get canceled, so you just keep playing. And the guys we have, fortunately, are really good guys, and they work hard. And I'm just happy to see them experience a little success, because at some point you got to have some tangible evidence that that does work too. And hopefully now Deacon can feel a little bit more confident next time he's out there under center. Hopefully the line feels a little bit more confident, and they should. They did a good job today. I'm anxious to see the film, but that's how you build things, and it's we've done a lot of building around here, and it's just part of the process. So when you lose guys, you got to try to rebuild and reboot, and every now and then you get lucky with some guys too.
John Steppe, Cedar Rapids Gazette. You hold the Big Ten's leading rusher to 39 rushing yards on 13 carries. What was the key to really slowing him down when even Ohio State couldn't slow him down?
I got to tell you, it felt like he had 100 yards today. Standing on the sideline, it's. I think I got an issue that way with my head, but if you look at their season this year, the couple of games that they did struggle in, he was contained by the defense, the opposing defense. So that certainly was a key. We had a lot of respect for the quarterback too, but if the running back got it going, which you could see why, he's a really good football player. That was a big key for us, I think, to keep him under control. And it was just a team effort. The guys up front, the linebackers, certainly safeties filling, and it's easier said than done though. And that's we were really worried about coming in.
Hey Kirk, Elliott Clough rivals. Caleb Brown had his first catch of the season last week. Comes in today in the absence of Deontay Vines, and kind of fills up the stat sheet. What'd you think about his performance and first touchdown as well?
Yeah, every touchdown looks good to me, so it's really good. But same theme. He's a whole different guy than he was 6-7 weeks ago. I think we talked about this before, where I don't know how much he did last year. I wasn't there. He wasn't here. I don't know if he's on the scout team or just standing there watching Harrison, all their good guys run around. So I don't think he was really working a lot, at that position. It was new to him coming out of high school. So this is all new to him, and he's been great. He's really been working hard, especially his last couple of weeks. I think he's been really kind of wired in. Certainly making a big play last week, I'm sure gave him some confidence he maybe didn't have a couple of weeks ago, and he took it another step today. And we had an opportunity there with Deontay being out, and said traditionally, our best stories usually, our best guys got to play their best, and then the other guys have to rise to a level where they can help us win football games. And he looked really good out there today. That's so encouraging for all of us.
To your left, Chad Lysico, Des Moines Register. 11 possessions today, no 3 and outs. And you just said it was your best game by the O-line. Can you explain kind of how you got to the starting point here? You had a lot of injuries and how that came together.
Yeah, if you'd seen the practice field on Monday, which you guys aren't allowed to, but it was looking a little thin, and we really didn't know who was going to be available or not. It was not really looking too good, but credit to our guys. And Logan tried to go today, and he couldn't really anchor down there. But I think we'll have a chance to get him back next week. So you got to throw the tight ends in there too, because we're down 3 out of 4. But the guys who were out there did a good job, and they found a way to get that thing done. So again, just it's part of the game. And one thing about November, everybody's got problems in November. Everybody's got guys hurt and guys sore and all that stuff. So you can worry about what your problems are. You can just figure, hey, we got to try to push through it. And the team's got some challenges too.
Adam Jacoby, Go Iowa Awesome. A lot of production out of Deacon Hill after a few weeks of, not really having a whole lot. Was there like a schematic change in how you approached today's game plan, or is it just execution making that big step up? And if it's just execution, where does that come from?
Yeah, I think we've been trying to be really mindful and smart. We try to do it with everybody. Whoever's in the game, there's no position more important than the quarterback. So, our quarterback situation was limited at the start of the year because Cade had the quad issue. And then certainly was altered when Cade went down with a knee issue. And so now you throw a guy in there who's never done anything really in the game. So, yeah, you're trying to always be mindful. And I don't think it was any different today. But the thing that was good, I thought, was, play action. He did a nice job. He did a good job. In the drop back game, which was critical. Made some really nice third down plays, and we had the 2-minute drive right before half. So a lot of things that we couldn't have done 4 weeks ago, but that's just practice. And there's no panacea, no magic pill you give guys. It's just they got to stay. And I think really the key to the whole thing is guys keeping a good attitude, not getting down on themselves despite what everybody's saying. Just staying focused on what they can do and what they can do to get better. And that's Deacon. That's a bunch of guys on our football team. So that's what you like to see.
Owen Seaborn with KGAN. I think you've joked about Ricky Stanzi needing to go out and throw an interception
Oh,
before
boy.
he had a good game. The last couple of Bruce Stevens has missed an early field goal and come back and have a really nice game. How much mental fortitude does it take for a guy like that to miss a kick early, then come back and just have a great game?
So first of all, Ricky ain't coming back. He ain't playing again. So, you know, it's okay with him. As far as Drew, he is still playing. So, no, we got to knock that off. I actually mentioned Ricky yesterday when talking to the TV guys. But, yeah, it's just, you know, to be a kicker, to be a specialist, to be a quarterback, you better be a guy who can get up off the mat. And, you know, if you screw something up, you got to get back in it. But, yeah, it'd be okay if, like, you know, we nailed the first one, too, from 30. I think it was from 30. All right, so for him, that's a chip shot. So it would have been a little bit better to be 3-0 at that point. Yeah, it just kind of takes the air out of the balloon, have a nice drive, get it down there, and then, you know, right down. So, not good.
Take 3 more questions. Start with Tyler.
Tyler Tashman with the Des Moines Register. Jay was just talking about the importance of Quinn Schulte. How have you, what stood out, I guess, as you've kind of seen him go on his development here?
Yeah, you know, I tease Phil about, like, you know, you can't play free safety at Iowa unless you're a walk-on. You know, it's just how it is, and Quinn's in that boat. But and then Phil plays this little game, too, for, like, you know, I think it took him about 1.5 years, maybe spring of Quinn's second year, maybe it was in the summer, where he acts like he doesn't know his name. Like, you know, it's a little game he plays. I know Phil well enough now. But I could tell he liked him right from the start. He's a serious, hard-working, focused guy. He wasn't good enough to play at that point, but he had all the right attributes. So it was just kind of a matter of time before he was going to start to. He's been a good player for us, but he's really a strong team leader too, and just so respected because his work ethic is, you know, I'm not in the room all the time, but you know, you just hear his teammates talk about him studying film, all the things he does. You know, it's pretty impressive, and that's the reason why he plays so well.
Coach Dan Stacy, Sportscast Media, and I noticed, well, you talked about it just a minute ago, I've noticed since 2017, 2018, that, I guess when daylight savings time starts, or ends, I mean, and when it gets colder out, you guys start playing, pardon the pun, but lights out football. Do you change your approach at all, say when November 1st rolls on, or is it a sense of urgency? Because in November, in recent years, your teams have played great.
Yeah, I would characterize it this way. We do change things a little bit, and if anything, we're doing less. Like we spend a little bit more, less time on the field, less time in pads. You know, try to be careful because you're, you know, at the wrong end of the season that way. But I think, you know, the bigger story is like, you know, we just have always, you know, we've never been world beaters, and I don't know if our best team was 0-2. You could argue that, but. We were a lot better team in October and November, especially November. And I think that year, I feel confident we would be in Ohio State in 0-2 in November. They would have kicked our ass in September. There's no doubt in my mind either way. But just to give you an example, like that team in 0-2 just really grew and built itself. It's pretty much been true of any of our good teams. And I just think it's repetition, it's awareness. You know, our shelves aren't stocked the way some people's are. So, you know, guys have to get the experience just like some of the guys we're talking about here. They've got to get that experience, go through it, go through the heartbreaks, the disappointments, all the things that come with competing, and then get back in there and you know, try to climb. And same thing for players or teams. It really doesn't matter. So that's kind of been our approach, our philosophy. It's not always right. And, you know, the key point in all this stuff is like Deacon, you know, you got to have the right people to have that work. And we've had years where it wasn't so good. We were 4-2 in 12, right? And then I think that was it, yeah, 4-2, and then 4-8. So not so fast. And 07, 6-5-1, ended up 6-6. You know, so it was 1-5 down the stretch, and that's, you know, I mean, nothing personal, but that just tells you about a team or how the coaches did that year and that kind of stuff. So that's how we look at it. Yep.
Michael Oscars at Cedar Rapids. Kirk, I got one more Deacon Hill for you.
Sure.
Have
you seen his car?
What's that?
Have you seen his car?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
It's, whew.
So I made a crack about, not his car, but the way cars in California, this is in the 80s, everybody had nice cars, right? Like everybody. And I asked a friend of my dad's, my dad grew up with, lived out there in Newport Beach, and I asked him, I said, Mr. Coley, like everybody out here's got like these nice, you know, Lexuses, Mercedes. yeah, where's all the money come from? He goes, nobody, at least nobody owns anything out here. Right? California, this was expensive back then. So Deacon's got like a Saab or something, right?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
it needs to go to Earl Shot and get a paint job. But, yeah. I think he paid $100 for it. It's a classic, yeah, it's a classic, so anyway. I'm sorry, Mike, I interrupted.
My car's older than that.
It doesn't look like his. That's awesome.
You would put money on that. But he's come to these things week after week after games. Hasn't been distraught. I mean, he hasn't been clicking his heels, but he hasn't been distraught.
Yep.
Looks us in the eyes, gives us straight talk. His teammates came in here today, said that his attitude's been great. With the weight of the world on his shoulders, how do you keep him going forward instead of backward?
Yeah, I've never met his parents, but I think he comes from a really good family, what I know, and, probably starts there. Fast forward here, so after, the guys are all in there, and he's out there holding a press conference. I think he's talking to Sports Center and everybody else out there in the field. So he comes in the locker room after everybody's already in there, and the way the team greeted him, I think said it all. Just great respect for him. They all like him. We have an out of season project. We're trying to get in a little better shape physically, but that's a discussion for a different day. But the guy just shows up. He's quality. He's a really good person. He's got a really good attitude, and if you're gonna play this game, you better be able to take a punch, and he's taken a few of them. If you play quarterback, you better be able to get back up on your feet after you get knocked down, and he's done that. So it's like all of our guys we're working with. We're just quality guys, and I'm saying all these nice things about these guys. We're going to be a little bit stern this week, I guess, maybe, but they just keep showing up and trying to get better. And Deacon, I think, is really. I'm just so happy to see him be able to come in tonight and walk out of here feeling really good about himself. He needed that badly. Great kid.
Last one, Scott.
Yeah, Scott Docterman, The Athletic. I wanted to ask you just kind of about yourself, but also the adversity that this program has faced, which every year there is adversity, but
Yep.
this one seems to be much more embedded from 15 different things, from gambling, injuries, to even news of your son last
Yep.
week. But yet you're 2 games up now in the West Division and clinched a share of it. What does it mean for you to see your team respond week in and week out and see your defense? You have 1 offensive touchdown in 4 games.
Yep. Thanks for reminding me, but yeah. No, I'm not joking, but it's all you can do. You just keep pushing. And the one thing I've always enjoyed about football and not enjoyed about football is it's very humbling. You never have it figured out, and that's like real life is the same way. So all you can do is show up and try to do your best, give an honest day's effort, have a good attitude, and then you never quit. You never quit. So that's what the guys are doing. And the big thing right now, we got 2 opportunities, and it's nothing's gonna be easy. Like you just hear the scores from around the country today. Nothing's ever easy. Nothing's ever predictable. But the good news is it's when guys get to taste some success, I think that grows confidence a little bit. We need to grow confidence. We're in bad need of that. So hopefully we can build on this, and we'll see how these next 2 weeks go.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.